welcome to the next episode of Money in Our 30s. I've got Harley and Charlie with me again.
Hello.
Hello.
I couldn't get rid of them. Um,
Still here.
so we decided the next topic of Money in Our 30s, or episode 2, was going to be what would we do again if we were 18. So I took it beyond myself, chaps, to write out a little Word document, and what you see on the screen currently is averages for an 18-year-old in the English economy, what they can earn, and what I imagine their money would be spent on. So
Oh,
um,
okay. Looks good, mate. Looks very in depth.
if you guys see anything that's missing, or you think there should be something there that's not, let me know. I added in a couple of bits that I thought should be there. So just starting off with the top, 18-year-old wage. This is before tax. It's £1,400, 14.90 and 55 pence.
Okay.
Taxes worked out to roughly be, and again, this is averages off of a website, so I got £132.91, your income tax being at £88, and your national insurance being £44. I did average rent for an 18-year-old at £300. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I was lucky enough not to have to pay rent when I was 18. Did you guys have to pay
Really?
rent when you were 18?
I did.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, but
Uh,
mine was very cheap at £200 a month though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same as me.
So you guys paid 200 quid. So we'll call
Yeah,
it. So I called it 300 quid. I didn't know if that was acceptable. I didn't know if that was
that's
average.
probably about there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got some people at work who pay 400 odd pounds for their rent,
Yeah.
for their mum and dad.
Oh,
Jesus.
okay. Well, we could call it 400, couldn't we? Maybe people can put in the comment section down below what your mum and dad are charging you. You know, you're 18. You're not gonna have moved out just yet. You might be renting somewhere, for example, but that I imagine that'd be quite a lot more than living with mum and dad for a second. So
Mm.
I called it 300 quid. Food for the month. So this is a meal deal. So you go out, you go to work. You do £4 per day. That was the average across Tesco's, Sainsbury's, Asda, that type of thing. £20 a week for 5 working days per week. And then I did a 4.33 calculation, which is to equal out the 4 week months and the 5 week months. So that came out to £86.66. Um,
Oh, that's a lot just on sandwiches.
just on sandwiches. So for people watching now, you could probably make sandwiches at home. Use mum and dad's money to make sandwiches, and you could save yourself £86.66. But again, I thought that was probably pertinent to put that in there. Maybe you don't make sandwiches, or if you don't make sandwiches and you buy them each time, you can see that that's somewhere you can save money. Then we got car fuel. I did fill up twice a month at 40 quid each time, £80 a month. That sound reasonable?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, we'll take for like, yeah.
Yeah. So and then insurance. This is based on 2024 numbers. This is the average per year for an 18-year-old was 1,700 quid, 1,752, and that worked out to roughly be about 146 per month.
That's like a month's wage, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
It's
That's
big money,
keen,
isn't
that.
it? Yeah, big money. Road tax, I come out to around about £210 a year, as long as you were under a 1.6. So I don't know if that seems correct to me, but again, I don't
yeah.
know your guys' experience with road tax.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I paid a little bit less, but I had a lesser engine, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit less.
So
160.
yeah, so then we've got that at £17.50. Now, I'm just going to bring up a calculator in my screen. Now, the reason why I'm going to do this is because this is the first, I thought, interesting part. Actually, I'm going to do the calculation on my own calculator. For some reason, it's not showing me a calculator. So we've got £216 a month saved. So this is just your savings that you would put back as a 18-year-old from your wage packet, 65. And then I'm going to times that by 12 to give us the monthly amount. So that's going to be £2,599. And the reason why I wanted to do this with you guys is
Is
because
that a yearly amount?
that's
Sorry.
that's the yearly amount. And
Yeah.
the reason why I wanted to do this with you guys is, and for people watching as well, is there's a lot of 5% deposits out there for mortgages and stuff like that. So I thought that quite good for people who are watching. You're 18-year-olds, you've got no idea what to do with your money. In 3 years, you'll have 7.5 grand. And correct me if I'm wrong, is that not enough to get a 5% deposit on somewhere?
I think it depends location. I don't think you're getting a lot in London, but around the rest of the country, you're probably getting quite a bit, and you're probably getting close to something.
Yeah.
I've recently seen about the shared ownership. Now, I don't know anything about it, but you rent half your house and you buy half your house. So if your house is worth, I think the average house is worth 250 in England as a whole of England. So you're only buying 125 grand of it, say. So at 5%, yeah, just over 5 grand, isn't it?
Yeah.
It'd be 7.5 grand. So yeah, so it works out for like a shared ownership house at a average.
Nice. So in my head, what I was thinking is, if you're 18-year-old, you're watching this video, if you could put back 220 per month and you save that for 3 years until you're 21, my idea was that you could put that £7,799 into a 5% deposit. Now, there are apps out there, and I don't know how the Help to Buy scheme, but I have certainly seen one just recently. As long as you put in a grand per year, I think the government are giving you a grand back or something like that. Something around those regions. So it's like a lifetime ISA type thing. To help you buy a house. So I'd have to do some research on that. I'll probably put that in the comment section below. I haven't forward thought about this section. Hey, look.
Oi, oi.
Oi, oi.
A special guest.
Hey, got a special guest. We've got Mr. Hillman.
We're talking money, baby.
We could do HCTH. Hatache. Hatache. Hey, do you want to join our video, Mr. Hillman?
Hush. Go on, man. What you up?
Well, we're
money.
talking money. We're talking about what we would do if we were 18-year-old again.
Yeah.
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 Nice. Get caught up, mate. Read through what we've put there. So yeah, as I was saying, we'd after 3 years you'd have a 5% deposit for a house. Hey, Mr. Hillman's actually. I'm glad you've joined at this point, sir. How much did you put down for your 5% deposit, sir?
10 grand.
10 grand. Well, there we go. We're nearly there. So after your 4th year, you could afford a house with your significant other or by yourself. You'd have, after 4 years, you'd have 10. Let's just do. I've done the calculations on a calculator on the other side. 10,396. So that would be your house there. And then investments, I've done another 216.65. That's at £50 a week times 4.333. Again, for the 4 weeks and the 5-week months. And you could drop that into your trading 212. You could drop that into any other ideas there, guys, for investments?
ISA?
Yeah.
Super dry.
Right, come on now.
Spinny world.
That is.
Drop it in
sore
Superdry,
subject.
baby.
No, but we don't talk about that anymore. That's top secret.
Britannia Gold.
You're gonna get me in a lot of trouble.
Britannia Gold, baby. So just to continue, we had a little small pause there while our main man joined the call. So just so that we can go back into this bit, so we're going investments. So again, another £2,599 per year. Just working out on a compound interest calculator. Now, bringing up the S&P 500, a lot of, I guess, 18-year-olds probably don't know about trading or anything like that, but quite a prolific way to earn some money or some cash on the side is to do stocks and shares. We ourselves are getting into that as well. And just on this website just here, we've got a compound annual growth rate of 11.29%. So going back into the savings for an 18-year-old and their wages, we could use £216 and we could put that into the S&P 500. Now, the amazing thing about compounded interest is that the more and the longer you leave it in the market, the better your money does. So just using this one here, I don't know if you guys have ever seen anything like this.
Yeah, I've seen this one before.
Cool. Yeah. So this is I've put in 11.29% as our interest rate up the top here. I'll zoom in to the in the editing part.
Is that dollars, mate, or pounds?
Oh,
Are we
done
working
dollars.
on
Yeah,
that?
sorry. Pounds. Calculate. Okay, sorry, back to pounds. So 11.29% is the annual growth rate of the S&P 500. Obviously, sometimes it can be a little bit less, sometimes it can be a little bit more. But over the last 32 years, the S&P 500 index has a compounded annual growth rate of 11.29%. So putting your money into the S&P for 5 years, £216.65 per month works out to be a total of, in the first year, only getting £138 back. Now, that doesn't seem that great. That as we work into 2 years, you get an extra, so you'll have, over the 2 years, you'll have an extra £600. And the third year, you'll have just under £1,400. And then the fourth year, you'll have just under 2,700. And then your fifth year is where you start to almost double the amount that you put in every single year. On that fifth year, you'll have just under 4.5 grand, and your total balance in your trading 212 account should be the capital growth plus the dividends should be around about £17,000 or just under 17.5 grand. So that is the power of investing your money and putting it in the right places. So what do you reckon about that, guys?
I would say
Beautiful.
that is my number one. That's what I would have done.
Yeah.
I would have done weekly deposits, and I think I'd have said to myself £50 a week. But that was because when I was 18, I got paid weekly. So
Yeah, I probably would have done the same. I probably wish I'd been told or educated, but you can't really say that it's your fault or somebody else's fault. You know, you've got to do that education yourself, and hopefully this channel will do that for you guys. So, what about you, Harley?
So I've primarily always been, yeah. I mean, most of my jobs, I've been paid on the month more than weekly. But yeah, I probably would have done if I could do it weekly, if not monthly, depending on my wage and stuff. If if I had the same mindset, yeah, 100%. Because you think you're young and you've got a lot of time, you could use time to your advantage for once. It'd be a no-brainer. But if someone showed me this many years ago, you'd think, "Oh bloody hell, this is really good." But yeah, 100% would have done it. Yeah, if I knew about it.
Nice, nice. So we got that. So that's over the next 5 years. So we've got all. So in the next 4 years, we've got our 10 grand, which is our 5% deposit. Can't speak now. And then in 5 years, just from investing alone, we input total deposits of just under 13 grand, and we'd come out with an extra, 30% on top of that. So you'd be looking at just under 17.5 grand in a trading account. Obviously, the longer you leave it for, the more years it grows for. So let's say we just keep doing that for 20 years. What do you reckon, guys? What do you reckon that amount will be?
Why happened?
oh, it's got to be high.
Pretty bloody big. It's just under 194 grand. So that's what we need to be doing is. And if you're 18, you're watching this video, immediately open yourself up a stocks and shares account and just start getting something in there, you know. So we'll probably do a video on this anyway, guys, won't we?
Yeah.
Nice. And then saving for rainy day, I just put down 200 quid, you know, in a separate pot. Maybe you want to use that to actually have fun and not do serious stuff with it. And then I put down 50 quid a month for a phone. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, because you
Yeah,
wouldn't
I'd
buy
say
it
so if you did-
outright.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then miscellaneous spending, I got £44 left over.
Yeah, I would say that most people are going to go out drinking, they're going to go and do stuff when they're 18. So you'd probably end up spending that £200 a month and being left with 50 quid, wouldn't you, rather than
Yeah.
saving for a rainy day. I don't think a lot of people, this is where I would have went wrong.
Yeah.
Had a rainy day fund because, you know, what's the rainy day? Only if your car breaks down. You still got a roof over your head, hopefully, if you're still at home with parents.
Yeah, exactly. I only put that rainy day fund in because I'm 30 years old now, and if my tumble dryer breaks down, it kind of pisses me off. So
He's an adult.
yeah, I'm an adult now. But yeah, like you said, if you're 18, you're probably using that 200 quid a month to go out with your mates, drink, and do all that type of stuff. So that's what we got there. I'll let you guys talk a little bit now. So we've done kind of like what an average, I guess, 18-year-old wage packet would look like, and how we break that down. If you guys have got any comments, maybe you don't you disagree with certain things, put that in the comment section. We can do a revisited version at some point. But I'll let you guys chat now. And we can discuss actually what we would do if we were 18 years ago. 18 years ago, if we were 18 years old again.
Yeah, the so a little bit each month was one of my big ones, like just £50 a month, £100 a month, something like that. I think that is a star. That's the best bit of advice. I wish somebody had forced me to do that. So I'm gonna brief over that one. My next one: don't waste money on takeaways, because I think, like, you get a takeaway with you and the missus, or you and a mate. All right, it's 20 quid, right? Well, you do that twice a month, which is quite easily done. Well, there's your 50 quid. And you think, well, hang on, that 50 quid could earn me so much more money if I just, that I'll eat before I go out. I'll do this, I won't go and have that. For the sake of two takeaways, you could own a house in like 10 years.
Yeah.
I think when you put it like that, it just seems like madness. Because I remember getting Domino's pizza like every weekend for months and months. I love pizza. And then my sort of third bit of advice is I wish I'd stayed under my parents' roof for just a little bit longer. Because when I sort of got out of the mindset of just wasting all my money and then I wanted to move out, I sort of saved for a couple of years and then bought a house, which is I would say what most people do. You save for a couple of years and you buy a house as soon as you can. Whereas I wish if I had this sort of knowledge now, I'd have bought an investment property first. So bought a buy to let, stayed at home for another few years, so I had something generating me income. Because when you buy your first house, you then in that rigmarole of then really hard to save for any other investments.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think
And
that's a good one.
yeah, that's all I got really. That was my sort of my top three best bit of advice I'd say to myself if I was 18 again. Sort of like hang about, mate. The old Netflix and chill can hang out this weekend. You've done enough takeaways. Get them gone. Stay at home. Save earlier.
Yeah, 100%. I like that one, especially the one with staying at the parents for just that little bit longer. Just give yourself that little bit of extra, time,
Yeah, if
especially
you
with
can.
saving. Yeah, if you can, definitely.
Yeah. So Williams, on to you.
I guess everyone's got their 2 cents on this one, but for me, as soon as you go into your workplace, find out about your pension. Now, I know, and everyone's it's like a 50-50, but for me now, like, get on your pension with your work as quick as you can to get that out of the way and done with, so you can't miss what you haven't got, and let that build while you're young. I wish people, like anyone, would just tell me about pensions so I can make a decision when I was a lot younger, because I only really found out about them, later on. Just having that knowledge around pensions when you're younger with your jobs, I think is just good to know and have. And then the other one, I guess it's still kind of on topic, but not missing phone bills, right? Because they just hammer you on your credit score. So I got hammered loads, like in 2019, for whatever reason, I just got hammered on my phone bill because obviously didn't pay it or whatever, and it
What,
just
not having the money to do it, or spending it on something else, and then
both, just being a flid with money, and then just not taking it seriously, like, it's just, it'll bounce back, it's fine, or just having that kind of attitude around it. But just staying on top of your phone bill it's the easiest thing to do, and also it's one of the things you can mess up easily as well, if you're not on top of your money. And like I said many years ago, I was just terrible with it, and it absolutely tanked my credit score. So it's just something I've kind of really been quite aggressive around making sure I'm on top of it. And I've cut my phone bill down, and I've just gone a SIM only personally now. But I know people, it's a good way to build up credit score. Um,
Nice,
and
mate. Nice.
just the only other thing was we've covered it earlier. It's just the earlier you get to this, the better. But it's hard because when you're 18, you're not in this mindset. But I think it's better now. But we never had that. We never had that. YouTube wasn't like it is now, right? Like you couldn't really find. I don't think there was major financial videos back then. But if you can educate yourself slightly on finance with books or whatever, you're like a million miles better off than the average bloke in general, be it 18 or 40, because a lot of people don't educate themselves very well. So just help yourself out, really, isn't it? It's kind of my 3 points, nothing crazy.
Yeah, nice, mate. No, I think that's all 3 really good points.
Nice. Yeah, I like it. I'll just quickly go over mine. Most of them were pretty much covered by you guys. So what my first one was get a job 40 hours per week and work as hard as you can in that job to provide for the outside activities that we're talking about. I know that might be difficult for some. Some are still in full-time education. Maybe some are doing like a degree or something like that. Even if you get like a 20-hour a week job, you can take the kind of table that we've got here, split some of the costs in half. Maybe the costs are still the same and you don't have the money to invest, but at least you're educating yourself and you're trying to get yourself that job later on in life that's going to give you the paycheck that you desire. The other thing I wanted to say was try and stay away from financial agreements of any kind. Getting a car on finance and stuff like that. It's a great way to build your credit, but just desiring a car just because your mates have got a really nice car and you haven't, you don't need to make that expenditure right now. Look towards your future and say to yourself, well, what car does future me want? And I can afford that car if I kind of adhere to the investing rules and everything that I want to do now. Your mobile phones and your car insurance are a good way to build credit, especially your car insurance. Not everybody's going to have £1,800 to immediately pay their car insurance out straight away. So you could use that over monthly and build your credit score like that as well. You'll pay a little bit of interest on it, but at least it's helping you with that mobile phone, build that credit up for when you want to get a mortgage, etc. If you can't drive yet, or you don't want to drive, or maybe driving's just not your thing, public transportation is always a great one. Taking the bus, taking the train to work, that type of thing. That can save you a horrendous amount of money. I mean, if we do just the amount that we're spending on the car per each month, so we've got 86.66 on the fuel, we've got 146 on the insurance, and we've got 17.50 a month on the road tax. We've got 250 quid extra per month to use there. Maybe the bus costs you 20-30 quid a month, so you still got that extra £200 a month to use. So that's something that I would definitely look into. If you're 18 years old, car's a great thing, it gives you independence, but definitely public transportation, don't be ashamed to use it. It's cheap and it can help you get places. The other one I was looking at was side hustles. There's so many ways to earn money now on the internet, by doing things, drawing things. There's I think there was some. I found a really weird video just recently of somebody who did Etch-a-Sketches, and they were so good at Etch-a-Sketches they managed to sell some of them for like £5,000. It was
wow,
friggin' crazy. But she could draw like New York skyscrapers and stuff like that from an Etch-a-Sketch, and you just think it's out there, it's a little bit funky, it's really cool, like she's a really talented girl. But if you've got a talent like that, get that on the internet. You can sell that type of stuff these days. And if you are really good at drawing or designing, you can hire yourself out on people per hour, Fiverr, all of these types of things. All of these things give you extra income to help you achieve and get to where you want to be. And then my last one was just investing, but we kind of went over that. We can invest in the S&P 500. We can invest in companies that we like, Apple, Amazon, Google, and even in trading 212. I think it's kind of proprietary to 212, but there's pies inside of 212 that you can invest in. So you can invest in a whole bunch of companies every single month after month. And that will save a lot of the hassle of trying to invest, trying to pick the right stock, etc. So that's another good one that maybe we'll show on the next video. So yeah, that was my kind of, if I was 18 years old again, how I would do it. You guys have done your bits. Is there any extra points that we want to kind of put across, or we?
Go on.
Yeah.
Well, just if you bring up that chart again for like the paying in, if you do it over like 40 years,
Yeah.
so bang 40 years in and say, well, happy days, that's me, that's my working age. Like that's go up again. Look at the numbers. Well, if you do it over 50 again, like bang it onto 50 and look at the difference.
Compound just get
Like,
massive.
like it just gets mental, and that's
It
why
just
if you
crazy.
wait until you're 28 instead of you're 18, that's what it's going to cost you. It's so important to just do something, even if it's £100 a month. Don't worry about it. Just do something, because that is literally what it's going to cost you.
Which is nuts. And actually, to back what Har's saying up, obviously it's easy to look at this and see the values, right? But how many times have we all sat there, right? You've seen a nice car drive by, and you don't think, oh man, I bet that guy does well. You think, I think that guy's a man. I wish I was in that car, right? You never think about the guy in the car, like he must have done well. You just think about the outside, and you think, what is it? You know, you're driving this like a crazy nice car, which would cost you £200 or £300, especially if you haven't bought it outright, £200 or £300 outright, £200 £300 finance, right, every month. When you could have put that 100 or 200 straight into the S&P 500 and actually be a lot better off that way. What a car is like, it's just transport. And I get that some people obviously are enthusiastic about their cars, but like, if you've not made it, why are you driving something? Like, you know, who are you proving it to? Because everyone, you see all these people drive the Mercedes, and you know most of them are financed. So like, what is the point you're trying to prove? Because it's costing you a bomb. If it goes wrong, it's going to cost you a bomb. It's just literally bleeding you money. It's just
Yeah.
Yeah,
just
if
that,
you
isn't it?
invest what you'd have put in a car, what would have that equated to? You could buy a car outright in 10 years and still be better off. Still have
Right?
that money.
And like when you're 18, like you drive a nice car because you want to think you're cool. But if you look at it like a black and white, what type of person are you trying to attract? Because if you're only going to attract people that want you because they think you got money. Is that someone you really want going like about with in your future? I know it's a bit early on, but like think about the outside aspect of that. It's just not worth it. Like who are you trying to impress? Because you ain't impressing yourself, right? Because you're trying to impress everybody else. It's like keeping up with the Joneses, isn't it? It's never worth it. It's always short lived. But you're the only one that pays the price.
Yeah.
Very, very good point, mate. I like it. Yeah, I've never been a car person myself, so theoretically for me, you know, the dream would be an Audi RS6, but that's 108 grand. I know I can't do that right now, but maybe in
108, is that what it is at the
yeah, well,
moment?
brand new one, but yeah, but
You wait
that
50 years, you can buy loads.
exactly, yeah, that's the dream, you know, and if I keep doing what I'm doing with my investments, and you guys keep doing with your investments, you know, there's a good chance that maybe not 6 million, for example, because we've started a little bit later, but there's certainly that type of money out there and on the table if you're strict with yourself and disciplined, and it's all about consistency. I think that's the biggest word that I would use is be consistent with it.
Habituation, yeah.
Nice.
Cool. Everybody happy? Anybody else got any last bits you want to add? Cool.
No, I think we've covered enough. I like that. Let's
Nice.
sign out there.
Cool. Guys, thank you very much for watching or listening, depending on whether you did it on Spotify or YouTube. And we'll see you in the next video.
Bye.
Bah. You farted then, didn't you?
Oh man, I was holding. You just kept yakking, and I just couldn't hold it.
Mate, in the first video, I got the fart in it, and I made it highlighted it, baby. Bosh. See you later.
Well,
Bye bye bye.
Okay.